Hi friends, welcome to another video here at Three Barrow Farm. I can already tell I'm going to be competing with the dogs again. So a little bit has been happening this week, but I've had quite a busy week. So I've just been trying to get time in the garden here, there and everywhere, wherever I can. I am sitting right next to what was the sunflower wall last year, and there are so many sunflowers coming up, and they are quite tall. I would say most of them, if you can hear some panting, that's the dogs. My two 1-year-old Jack Russells are play fighting, and they always choose to play fight right next to me when I'm recording. So the sunflowers are definitely over 1 meter tall already, and I need to transplant some of them because they are taking over the rhubarb plants that we planted during winter. So we have lots of rhubarb plants at the front that we inherited from my husband's grandfather, who grew beautiful rhubarb. And we inherited all the crowns and we dotted them around our front garden. And now we've decided to share the rhubarb with our community. And so we've put them in rows along the back here to quite intentionally grow as much as we can. But of course, because the sunflower bed was here last growing season and the cockies came and they took what they wanted and scattered the seed wherever they dropped it, I've got them coming up everywhere. So getting into this garden here and moving some of the sunflowers. I've already moved some, and I'm not sure how they'll go being moved now that they're quite tall, but we will see. But some of them really just have to come out. So a while back I relocated some to one of my vegetable plots. So vegetable plot number 2 has some of the sunflowers there. And I wanted to finish that row and plant them all the way down. So my aim is to complete that this weekend. After some hot weather, we are having a nice coolish week. We're having weather, I think it's just in the mid-20s really. That's as hot as it's getting. So I'm taking this opportunity to plant and transplant a few things. I have been transplanting the tomatoes slowly that have just come up all by themselves in my sort of medicinal section of my vegetable plot number 3. So I have been moving them and putting them in rows in vegetable plot number 2. And they are looking happy so far, so that is good. They are getting more direct water than what they were getting when they were in the medicinal area, so that is good. I have lost a couple of tomatoes, and I believe it's because they've been watered too much. So tomatoes don't like to have wet feet, and so I've been turning the irrigation on for short amounts of time. And yeah, as I said in my last video, it would be ideal if I could turn each row of the irrigation off when I, wanted to, and I can plant all the tomatoes down certain rows and turn them off, but allow all the other vegetables to get as much water as they need. So I'm being very careful with how I water the tomatoes and just hand watering other things. And yes, it's taking a little bit more time. Eventually we will fix this problem, but at the moment that's how I'm dealing with it. So remember when I attempted to try putting a plank over my carrot seeds and keep the moisture in that way? Well, it didn't really work for me. I have a lot of critters in my garden, namely earwigs and slaters, and they ate a lot of my seeds and a lot of the sprouting seeds, so a lot of the little seedlings that were coming up. And every time I pulled up the plank, there were a whole lot of them there, and I just knew that they were eating my carrot seeds or seedlings. So what I did was I sprinkled more seed and put some seed raising mix on top, and then just watered them twice a day, and I got more seed coming up. But my second experiment is putting this frost cloth over where I've put the seeds. So I dug little farrows, I dug lines into the dirt, I sprinkled the seed, and then I put some seed raising mix on top. But I still have a bit of a furrow so the water can sit in that ditch. And then I put this frost cloth over the top. And while these seeds are sprouting and they're coming up, I pretty much feel like all of them are coming up. And when I check under the frost cloth, I'm not seeing any of the slaters or the earwigs. So this is great. I'm really, really excited. I have carrots there, I have beetroot, and I have fennel as well. And all three of them are coming up really nicely. So I'm going to repeat this process in other parts of my vegetable patches, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm pretty confident that this is working. I'm just keeping the frost cloth on until I feel like all the seeds have sprouted and they've sort of got maybe their second leaves, and then I will take the frost cloth off. Another thing that the frost cloth is doing is stopping my dogs and my cats from rolling around in the bare dirt. So whenever they find a section in my vegetable patch, and this is probably a reason why I'd love to put a picket fence around my vegetable gardens, or that wouldn't stop the cats, would it? But anyway, whenever they find a vacant spot in the garden, and it's mainly in the pathways that they do it, but they will just roll around in that dirt and enjoy themselves so much. It annoys me though, because I could have just planted something there, especially when I'm planting seed into the ground. Yeah, it's really, really annoying. And if I've just planted a seedling in and then they've dug it up, super annoying, really, really annoying. So in the past, I have put like mesh cages over the area as well. That's a great idea too. But yeah, this frost cloth is definitely keeping them from rolling around. Although, you know, I'm sure they'd love to roll around in the frost cloth. I know the dogs have enjoyed the torn frost cloth that I have put aside. They wrap themselves around it and really enjoy those. They sort of bury themselves in them. They're like little bed sheets for them out here. And then they end up with green marks all over them. So I just wanted to say again about the frost cloth that I got. It is a frost and heat cloth. So you think that it would survive the heat and the frost itself, and it would last longer than a month. But no, I've had this frost cloth last only a month, and then it started wearing and tearing, and it's really disappointed. So I just wanted to put the frost cloth brand on this video to show you not to buy this one, basically. My ideal cloth would be to use fleece. I want to try and find somewhere here that is not so expensive, because again, when I've used like fleece cloth in my sewing, because I do sew, it's not as sturdy as you think it is. So I'm worried that it also will tear. So I really want to find something that's going to work well, that is not plastic, ideally. This stuff would have some sort of plastic in it, or is, you know, it's not natural. But it was what I could get to start off. And, you know, I'm going to do what I can with the rest of the frost cloth that I have. I'm going to keep using it. I'm going to find ways to mend it and maybe double layer it. I'm also going to experiment with how I place it over the hoops, because I know that it was perhaps the hoops that caused it. When the wind blows and it rubs on the metal hoops that I was using, even on the pipe ones, the thick pipe ones, there were some wear and tear on the frost cloth. But yeah, I've just got to find a way to make it work so that I can use it as much as I can. I kind of want to take back one of the rolls. I still have it intact with its label on. I've got to find the receipt, but Bunnings is pretty good with giving refunds, so I will probably take that roll back. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know not to buy this brand if you want your frost cloth to last more than a month. Maybe in some gardens where there's a lot of wind protection it would be fine, but yeah, even just having it on the ground here, it is still wearing. So, and it's supposed to be a heat one as well, so it's supposed to withstand the heat too. I will let you know when I find something that is working really well, but it's good to hear from other gardeners about what works and what doesn't work. And if any of you have any advice about frost cloth, I would rather not use plastic. If I have some plastic around that I can reuse, I'll use it, but I feel like plastic will just suffocate the plants, unless you left parts of it open. Anyway, let me know. Please let me know if you have used any frost cloths or anything to cover your summer vegetables to get them through that, start of spring where frost can occur. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So here we have the golden potted peas, and we've been eating some of them like snow peas, but now they are getting bigger and we will be enjoying them as peas. They're so nice. Welcome to my little patch here with all the poppies. The poppies are delightful. We're really, really enjoying them. But I'm feeling that itch to start taking out some of the plants. I need more room. And although I still have room elsewhere, I'm like, oh, I really, really want to just plant lots of carrots this year, because I'm like, it's working. I'm actually growing carrots. They're actually working. So I'm kind of tempted to remove some of the poppies that I have in areas, and yeah, we will see how we go. This is quite wild back here. There's no structure to this whatsoever. It's all come up from seed from last growing season's poppies. I also have this beetroot behind me that's gone to seed. I had 2 massive beetroots that I let go to seed last year, and this has obviously come from that. And I've left it in the ground, and now it's gone to seed. So the potatoes are going really, really well this year, but I also want to plant more. I've got more potato seed inside that's ready to plant. You guys have met my dogs before. Oh, this Luna on this side and Jackie on this side. Where have you been? You go and get a drink. Go get a drink. Go on. I've got dirt all over me. So I've mentioned in another video how I had rust on my garlic. I also have it on my Egyptian walking onions. And really, to get rid of this, I need to thin these onions out. They don't have a lot of breathing space in them, so there's a lot of moisture, I guess, and I think that's why it's occurring. I really need to look up why the allium family does rust and get rust on it, but I just pull the leaves off and it sort of gives it room and stuff. But look, all of them are making their little onions on top, and and I really just need to pull out one of these patches as well, because I wouldn't mind putting these elsewhere in the garden, not being in the middle of my rows. My zucchinis are going well. I had a few little zucchinis go rotten because they weren't pollinated. There were no male flowers basically, but now the male flowers are growing. I'm very confident that we will get some nice zucchinis very soon. It always happens at the start of the season that, yeah, there's not a lot of male flowers, and I tend to just take off the fruit. And, you know, I can just eat the fruit very young and eat the flowers as well, so they don't have to go to waste. But yeah, we've got some male flowers happening now, and eventually there'll be so many zucchinis. You know what they say. The zucchini glut, you can't get rid of them. No one wants them because everybody has them in their gardens. I have a few zucchinis just here right next to me that I've planted next to the onions, and my plan is to, you know, take out the onions and let the zucchinis grow big. And I've popped those milk containers over the top of the zucchinis, but they are getting too big for the containers now. So I'll definitely be taking one of them off, maybe in the morning, and then the other one can last a little bit longer. The sun is in my eyes now in this spot, but I just wanted to say thank you for coming along on this little walk through my garden and a little chat about what's going on this week. I'm really looking forward to this weekend because I'll be able to really get into the garden. It's going to be nice and cool as well, meaning it's not going to get over 25 degrees, I believe. So I'm just going to do so much, and I hope to film as much as I can. What's happening? Hi. Whenever I sit down, she finds my lap. So yeah, I'm just going to get lots of planting done this weekend. It is the last few weeks of November when we can actually, don't fight with your sister, when we can actually get seeds into the garden of certain types of vegetables. So I need to get the zucchini, the cucumber, the pumpkins, the tomatoes and eggplants. All of those vegetables need their seeds to be in the ground or in punnets before the end of this month. So I'm very determined to do another lot of seedlings in my seed raising trays. Let's see how they go. The last lot didn't go all that well. I think for various reasons they didn't go well. Some of them dried out too much. There's no sun in our house now because we've got a solar passive house. So I need to put them outside and then they dry too much. But anyway, I'll just have another go and see how we go with it. I've got capsicums there. I've purchased some capsicum plants as well. I've got one gherkin cucumber to put into the ground. Hi, Harry. See, this is what I'm talking about. They find a patch on the ground and they roll in it. Anyway, we will get there. I'm very confident that I will be able to get a lot done this weekend. And then the following week I will be away from my garden. At this time of year is really, really hard. And being away during harvest season is really hard as well. But it is only a few days that I'll be away, and then I'll get back into the garden again. Behind me, there are leeks that are going to seed. There are pretty much a lot of leeks going to seed in my garden. And I've been pulling some of them out because I don't really need leek seed. I have so much leek seed. So I'd rather use the space for other things to grow. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to them in time, but I did grow a lot of leek over winter. And we are still not buying any leek or any spring onions or any onions. We don't buy any of those. We just use what we have in our garden. So there's been enough. And the dill is also going to seed now as well, which is just lovely. I can't wait to collect the dill seeds. That will be amazing. Anyway, it is clear to me that I need to wrap this up now because the dogs are fighting and now Harry's getting into it as well. They're play fighting and having a lot of fun, and I'm just going to finish up now and I will see you next time. Bye my friends.